Hello there, and welcome to the first edition of Zero to App. If you don't know who I am, my name is Chris M. Walker. I'm the founder and owner and CEO of legit.com, Superstar SEO, Think Big Learning, and other things. And this is a new channel that I'm launching and a new initiative that I'm doing where every week I'm going to randomly choose something and then build it with AI, or do vibe coding as the kids seem to be calling it. And it's going to be a lot of fun. I'm going to do it live right in front of you here on the Zero to App channel, and then on Facebook, and I think it's on Twitter as well. So I don't know if anybody's even going to watch this. I sent emails, I sent push notifications, I sent numerous Facebook posts and things like that. But anyway, that's what's going on. So let's go ahead and just get started. I'm not going to wait for anybody to let me know if they can hear and see me, because there's not really anybody here. There's maybe 5 people watching. It's also a holiday weekend, so there's that. But let me just share my screen and kind of walk you through how this works. If you're not familiar with vibe coding, I'm going to stumble a little bit here too, because this is new and I'm doing it anyhow. But if you are watching, by the way, can you just say hi, so I know I'm not just talking to myself? But basically, we're going to be using an AI coding tool called lovable.dev, which I, as you can see, have used extensively. And I may switch to another one in the future. I don't know. But right now, this is the one I use the most often because I think it builds the nicest looking sites out of any of them. And we're also going to use ChatGPT to help us write prompts to give to this to do it. So that's it. So please, if you're watching, please say hello. I feel lonely. But so what we're going to do today is make a tool that will help you create content that sounds just like you. So if you've ever tried to write posts or tweets, or I guess blogs you could write with it too, or LinkedIn posts or anything like that with AI, you know that it comes out pretty generic sounding, full of EM dashes and like emojis and a lot of stupid words like in today's competitive digital landscape and things like that. So what I did was I took training, full credit where it's due, from a lady named Lauren Tickner, who had some things that help you prompt. Well, basically, they help you give ChatGPT and Claude information to create information about you. And that's what I just decided it would be easier if there was an app for that. So that's that. Edwin says, what is a doppelganger? A doppelganger is like a clone. It's basically an exact copy of you. I forget that people aren't nerds and don't know that from Dungeons and Dragons and shit. So anyway, let's go ahead and get started. What I'd like to do first is to give ChatGPT some information about what I want to do, so I can give Lovable a good point to start. So I'm just going to freestyle it and kind of put everything into it and get a prompt. All right. With Lovable. If at any point you have any questions, just put them in the chat and I'll get to them after. Let me zoom in even more so you can see. Thank you, Keith. I spelled this wrong. This is another one of those words I spell wrong every time. Tonight is WrestleMania, so you guys are lucky I'm doing this. Just getting the colors. I can never remember the exact hash codes. I like to keep all the apps I'm building to use the same gradient for the color scheme. You don't have to do that, of course. Use to create the use them in order and feed the user the appropriate questions from the prompts via the website interface in a format similar to ChatGPT. I am also attaching sample output from when I ran these. Hello, everyone. And these are the prompts that I got from Lauren's course that we're going to be turning into a software. 2, 3, 4. What is the other one? 1, 2, 3. Please create a prompt for lovable. I spell that wrong every time too. .dev to accomplish all of this. So this was a pretty long prompt to start this with, but the better you start it off, the better your output will eventually be. So there's that. Now let me zoom back out because that's obnoxiously long. See, it's missing some stuff. Sure. Please make sure to, let me zoom back in. Tell Lovable that we do not under any circumstance want mock data. We want to use the Open AI API. Also, please include the 6 prompts I gave you to tell Lovable what to ask the user to create the doppelganger. You can see this is a pretty long prompt that it's creating, but again, it will give us doing all of this ahead of time. It means you end up using less effort making the thing. So this is one of the longest, if not the longest, prompt that I've written for one of these. So let's go to the home page and start going. Paste all of that in and start. Now this part will take a while because that it has to read all that, figure out what I want, and then do it. So this is probably the longest part, like longest time where you're not doing anything. Keith says, "Hey, Chris, looking forward to this new channel and learning some new stuff. Thank you." Sabir says, "Good." Creators Club says, "Hello, Chris." Hello, gentlemen. I think you're all gentlemen. I know you're, or at least I think you're all male. I don't know if you are gentlemen or not. So we got about 9 people watching, maybe more if there's some that are actually on X. X does a shit job of like reporting how many people are watching because it tells you how many people have seen it and not how many people are currently watching, which is dumb. The next thing we'll have to do once this assuming that it doesn't have any glaring. Yes, I am on YouTube. It's on the new channel, Zero to App. Thought I was pretty straightforward about that, but I'll put it in the chat. See, this is the new channel right here. And I'll put the link in the chat as well. This is our very first piece of content on it. There you go, Shannon. Let's see if Lovable is done. Not yet. I told you this was going to take a long time. $27 subscribers already. Thank you all so much. Still going. This is definitely the longest I've seen for it to take, or for it to create the initial app, which makes sense because it was a fairly complex prompt. But overall, this will be a relatively simple app. But anyway, assuming there are no glaring problems, the next thing we'll have to do is go get the API key. And I'll show you how to set all that up in Supabase. This is really taking a long time. I'm surprised. I mean, I'm not surprised, but I am surprised. I don't know if that makes sense. I hope this dumbass thing isn't trying to actually answer these. Ooh, 6 people on YouTube now. 2 on Facebook. Pretty good for a day one channel. Of course, I have the advantage of having people I can send to it and not just wait for YouTube to do it. This feels like a long time, but project is being used. What? Never seen that before. Oh, this fucking thing. See, this is already a problem. It thinks that it wants the user to put in its API key. It also used the wrong colors. So the first thing we have to tell it. I do not. Let me zoom in. It also used the wrong colors, which I don't understand. Do not want the user to have to give their own OpenAI API key. I want the app to use mine. I will provide the key in Supabase, but please rework the app with that in mind. And while it's doing that, we'll go over to OpenAI and we'll log in. And where is it? No. Dashboard. API keys. Create a secret key. I'm going to do this off camera because I don't want the key to be out there. AI. Copy. All right. So now it's being dumb today. I swear this thing has moods. But anyway, we're going to click this little green bolt thing up here called, which is going to take us over to Supabase. And we're going to create a new project in Supabase. And we're going to call it AI Doppelganger. And we're going to give it a password. I'm going to do that here because I'm going to use the autofill. Well, I thought I was. All right. Bring that back. Create new project. Ooh, $10 a month. This is getting costly. I'm going to have to delete some of those. Create new project. Yeah, they've added this confirmation, really. Shannon says here now unsubscribed. Cool. Now we have to wait for it to finish setting up the project. Up to 7 people on YouTube now. Thank you so much. Oh, and there's my API. Oh, well. All right. So now we come back here to Lovable. And we find Doppelganger and we click connect. And then we go back to our project. And say, yes, I have. Oh, shit. Now we need to go up to Supabase and go to, where is it? Let's do it this way. Manage secrets. And it's, I can never remember what it's called. What do I call the open AI API in Supabase? Don't do anything. Just tell me. You always have to add that if you don't want it to do anything, or else it's going to do shit and it'll make things worse. Come on. No. Just answer. Don't do anything. Thank you. Good Lord. All right, so we'll put in our secret key. Where did it go? Hopefully it's still in my clipboard. Yep. And we'll put what it told us to put. And we'll click save. Now we'll say key to Supabase. Please rework the app to use that rather than prompting the user for their key. Please change the color to use the gradient that I told you to use. You moron. I insult this thing so often when it does dumb stuff like that. No, that's not what I wanted either. Use it on the button and the text. Welcome to AI Doppelganger. Also, style AI like this with a lowercase I. There we go. Change the text on the button to say create your doppelganger. All right, let's see how well this worked. Since this thing auto refreshes all the time, so what I do is I pop it out to this preview, whatever site, which what? I've never seen that happen before. Let's try that again. You see how it auto refreshed there a minute ago? That's why I try to do that. Although it seems to be being difficult today. Should you tell it not back? Nah, I decided it looks pretty good that way. Come on. All right. Well, we'll try it in here for now, since it doesn't seem like we have any other choice. Create your. That looks kind of ugly. Could you share your name or pen name? The interface is definitely going to need some cleaning up. About your cultural or familial. Sure. You know what I'm going to do is we're going to publish this. Well, first of all, let's connect to our GitHub so we have this saved. GitHub, for those who don't know, is a code repository. So you can make updates and things like that. So let's publish this. And I just want to do this because I know this window is going to refresh, and this is a fairly long process. But it's very possible that we just one-shotted this. All right. So now we can go, hopefully this will work. What the fuck? Oops. I've never seen that happen before. All right. Well, that's going to make things interesting. We may have to deploy it to the custom domain before. And you see how it refreshes? So, fuck me. All right. Well, I guess we'll just go ahead and say, I want to deploy this to Netlify. Can you help? Normally we would do this much later, but for some reason the preview sites aren't working today. I don't know why. Don't do anything. Just tell me what to do. In the meantime, I'll log into my Netlify account. I think we can deploy it through GitHub. Add new site. Import from an existing project. GitHub. I think it's this one. Yeah, it has to be because it was 1 minute ago. This one. Just see. Build command npm run build. Dist node version 18 or higher. It doesn't ask for that. Yeah, it doesn't ask for that. Ai Doppelganger. So deploy. And normally this is a much later step, but for whatever reason, there's something going on with Lovable today, because of course there is. So now we need to wait for this to deploy, and then we're going to set it up on a custom domain. And then we're going to just go through the process. While that's doing that, I'm going to go ahead and find where I actually went through and did this already. Where is it? China. fuck's sake. Here it is. I'm going to get my answers ready so we can just kind of copy what I told it before. Custom domain, new domain. I'll be surprised if this is available, but Doppelgänger.ai. Did I spell doppelganger right? Yes. Where to go? Search. Figures. What a waste. All right. So let me see. No way this is available. Yeah. All right. So my Doppelgänger.ai. Seriously? All right. Ai Doppelganger.ai. There we go. All right, I'm going to pay for this off camera. It sucks. AI domains suck because they're expensive and you have to buy 2 years, but it is what it is. Yeah, I know. Does anybody or does everybody understand what we're doing? If there's any questions, let me know because this is going to take a minute for this to boot. But basically, see how this keeps refreshing? It does that. And so normally what I do is I click this and I go to a preview domain, or I deploy it and I go to the deploy domain. But for some reason, neither of those are working today. And they keep throwing this error. So what we're doing instead, and I can close this and this and this. What we're doing instead is actually deploying it to a live domain. So then it won't, then I can actually test it without it refreshing halfway through the interview. So I know this is a little bit, there's not really much to watch right now. So what we're doing right now is waiting for it to provision the DNS. DNS is domain name servers. It's basically how the internet knows to get to your domain. So this is just taking a minute or two. But if you have any questions, this is the time. So please drop those in there. And then we're going to test it. And I have a feeling that we're going to get pretty close to what we want here. On the first go, which is pretty impressive. Everybody live out there? Let's refresh. Hopefully it's done by now. Okay, no. I think it's probably going to be done by now. We'll see. It usually doesn't take this long. It seems like it's just going to be one of those days. Let's see if that's fixed yet. Nope. Nope. Oh, boy. All right. Well, while it's doing that, let's see if we can't clean up the colors. Change the text in the upper left corner of the interview page to the gradient and make the I in AI lowercase. Remove the gradient in the background of the progress bar. It didn't do anything. That didn't do anything. It is still there. I am talking about the background in the section in the attached screenshot. I've never seen it take this long to provision a domain before. No, I thought it was done. What the fuck? It usually takes like 2 or 3 minutes. Let's see. Oh, okay. It's just telling me something different. So provision certificate. This is to set up HTTPS. So we'll come back in a minute to that. There we go. But use the gradient purple as the color of the bubbles with the number in it in the progress bar. No, dummy. Make them the solid purple and make the number itself white. This is the kind of shit that it does that drives me insane. You see, it created the whole app without too many complications, but little shit like this, it just takes it so it's just so hard to get it right. So annoying. All right, that'll work. Is it ready? All right. So what did I call it? Ai Doppelganger.ai. The SSL still not. No, whatever. We can do this without the SSL. It'll get there eventually. Maybe I just need to type it in. Yeah, it's still not completely provisioned, but that's okay. All right, so let's try it. This could use some work, some font, some styling work, but that's okay for now. Could you share your name or pen name if you prefer? I go by Chris M. Walker. Yeah, so let's just copy the different parts, the answers I give it here. See, hopefully, let me zoom in so you can see what it's saying. It's asking me different things about myself. I've already gone through this, so I'm just going to give it the same answers because, well, that way I don't have to think about it. Sounds like it offered a vibrant. How did these elements, along with your baseball experiences, proximity to the beach, shape your interest, the way you interact with others? I wasn't expecting the questions to be different, so I don't know what to say now. I think it gave me a good childhood and examples to learn from. That's not a very good answer, but I just want to get through the whole process so you can see it. Specific example of your story from your childhood that particularly stands out as a learning moment or a pivotal experience. Watching my mother, my single mother, that's probably important, single mother work to keep us going and always doing what needed to be done. Obviously, these answers were different for you. I just want to go through the whole thing. Your mother's dedication, resilience, a power example for you growing up. How has her hard working determined your values and work ethic in life? Yes. No, it didn't. All right. Well, that did not work at all. Okay, so download. We'll save that one, although it skipped like half the fucking questions because it like I guess the prompt got too long. Okay. Yeah, and now it like doesn't go on to the next one. So continue. Now the formatting's all fucked up. All right. Well, that's a problem. During the interview, it asked the user if it wanted to continue. And let's see. I think because it was such a long prompt, but that messed up the process and it didn't continue. Rewrite the code to not stop any interview until it is complete. There we go. Anybody out there still with me? It shows about 7 folks at least still watching. All right, so now what we have to do is publish and update. Hopefully the HTTPS is ready by now. Yeah, there we go. So now that update is done, this is probably going to give me shit because of that. I already went to it, but https://ai doppelganger.ai. Yeah, okay. Now the HTTPS is working, so that's good. All right, so let's try again. I go by Chris M. Walker. And the formatting on this still needs some work, but I want to make sure that the actual app works first. Could you tell me a bit more about your background? For example, where you grew up? It's giving me different questions, which is interesting. I grew up in North Myrtle Beach, SC. Oh, thinking about it. I was hoping to just copy my answers, but I guess they're not. I'm just making up stuff now. It taught me, you'd want to give it full answers. The working at McDonald's at 16. Oh, working at McDonald's at 16 and getting early promotions taught me to work hard. And I'm just making stuff up. I mean, I'm not giving as thorough an answer as I would. It taught me to make sure the most important people recognize your work. And it was a very fast-paced environment. In my current business, it has helped me to learn to think on my feet and pivot when needed. Again, I'm making stuff up. You would want to give this better answers. Lessons. Can you tell me more about your business and how the ability to think? I own a two-way marketplace, and during the pandemic, we had to figure out how to keep going and pivot quickly. Again, I know I keep saying that, but you would want to give it thorough answers. We realized that people would be home more, so we did more live content to stay associated with our community, and that worked. I'm a little surprised that it's going to business so quickly, but we'll see. Live streams where we just talked and answered questions helped a lot, and our business exploded. The sense of community. Keeping people connected and engaged. Remembering people's specific situations. I just remember them. That's what you do when you care. It's clear that you have a genuine commitment to your community, which truly can you deeply. How is this approach influence your? We have people that have been with us for 8 years, and I think that's why. I'm really surprised it's asking so much about my business because we're still in the personal identity one thing. So I have a feeling this got mixed up, and I'm going to have to create specific modules for each of these, but we'll see. They continue to buy and stay with us over competitors. We welcome them with free content and community access. We have dedicated content for it. Email, video, and so on. Damn it. Why are you asking about professional stuff? This is supposed to be the personal identity interview. Okay, so this is getting all of these jumbled together. So what we need to do is tell Lovable that. and hopefully it can fix it. It seems like the questions are focused. No. Questions from each area are not being separated. I want the personal, what's it called? Identity interview to be first and just be based off of this prompt. Let me go grab that prompt. Do you understand what I want? Don't do anything, just tell me. Oh, fucking thing. Lovable seems to be on the fritz a little bit today. Because of course. What the fuck? Of course you are. Maybe it's too long. All right. Well, we may have to call it at this because it seems like this is broken. We're going to try it one more time. Lovely. Yep, totally broken. All right, so I guess what I'm gonna, man, what a shit show this has been. But I guess what I'm gonna do is explain what we're up to, and then we'll call it, and then I'm gonna finish this off camera and edit it into a video and post it here on the Zero to App channel. Sam says, you can imagine doing this live is a lot more difficult because as building anything, especially AI, there's always this tiny, apparently today it's not even a tiny issue. The thing just doesn't fucking work at all. So we're going to have to stop, which is unfortunate because we were on a bit of a roll and I already spent $200 on that domain. Anywho, what I think is going on is that I have these 6 different prompts that it's basing the interviews on, and it's supposed to be do one and then move on to the next. But I think it's jumbling all of it into one. So instead of doing a personal identity interview and then a voice and style guide and business, and then that, I think what it's doing is instead lumping them all into one, and it's not going to work well that way. So they have to build on one another. So I was going to try to make it force each one to do that, but well, AI or Lovable has just taken a shit on me. So I don't think there's anything else I can do. Let me try one more time. Nope. So I guess that's going to do it. So does anybody have any questions about what we did or what we're doing here or why I can't continue right now because the tool is taking a shit? I'll stick around for a few more minutes and see what people are saying and doing and thinking. And then I'm going to call it because I'm getting hungry. But yeah, I mean, I think all things considered, we made pretty good progress for, less than an hour of work. And I think once it gets done, it'll be so let me actually just show you the output of what I got. So I did this whole thing, and I guess I can share this in the chat. Doesn't have, fucking thing. I tried to do this with audio and it didn't work that well, but now I can't share it because of that fucking thing. All right. Well, let me just show the custom GPT that I wrote. So basically I created a custom GPT and uploaded the 4 documents, which I'll make available for you into this. And now it will write like me. So write me a Facebook post about discipline. Not disciple. Discipline. So what this is doing is not just writing a Facebook post, but it's writing a Facebook post in my voice, more or less. This works pretty well, but I find that Claude actually gave me better output. So if you go over to Claude, and the reason is they have what they call custom GPTs as projects. I have this one. Now, what this can do is you can put not only like teach it to talk the way you do. You can see how I uploaded the 5 different. I guess it's 4. I could have swore it was 5. I'll have to look into what I missed. I think I missed one. Yeah, I definitely did. All right. Anyway, you upload those to teach it for its knowledge, and then you can tell it to do stuff. But you can also create these styles. So you can see normal. These are like the pre-made ones, but I made these like the storytelling template, LinkedIn post, authority template, contrarian template, long Facebook post, and so on. So what I will do is pick one of the those and say, and eventually I'm going to build this into the app as well. But say, write me a Facebook post about discipline. And I just find the output is a little bit better. And see, this is something I would write. Like this really does sound like me. And you still need to read it and like tweak it a little bit. But for those of you that know me, I mean, don't you think, let me share it with you. Oh, for fuck's sake. How do I make it public? Well, shit. All right. Well, I was going to share it with you. If you read this sounds like me. Discipline. Most people talk about discipline, but have no clue what it means. Let me fix that for you. It isn't depriving yourself of things. It isn't forcing you to do stuff you hate. It's doing what needs to be done over and over without anyone telling you to do it, especially when you don't feel like it. I've built multiple businesses that make real money because I do the same things daily, not because I'm special, because I'm consistent. Most people try shortcuts to the elite apps, and you get the idea. So you can it basically writes just like you, and it can be on almost any topic. So somebody give me any topic that you'd like me to write a post about, and I'll kind of demonstrate it. And I was hoping to get to that point with this, but it's not working. But you at least see how easy it was to get to even that point on this. And I'll finish this off camera and then remix this and that into a video that'll go on the channel itself. But somebody give me a topic: discipline, business, growth, SEO, something. And I'll give you another example, and then we're going to call it a day. And if I don't hear from somebody in the next 1 or 2 minutes, I'll call it a day anyway. But yeah, just give me, you can see I've written quite a few. Like I wrote my pinned post that I posted last night, and I'm writing all of next week's content with this. And it just saves me having to think. That's sick. The voice notes prompt would be OP2. Yeah. Yeah. It pisses me off, to be honest. But I'll figure it out. So that's the whole point of the app, is to generate content that comes across. Yeah. So let me, that's a good way to ask it. So I told this to Chris what did I call this thing? Chris Ryder, to write me a Facebook post about discipline. And it wrote a post that sounds exactly like me. Now, if I was to go and ask regular old Claude that without the templates or anything, it'll be more, see how it's more like AI slop without the formatting and all that stuff. Can't you do the voice note prompt on ChatGPT and copy and paste the text over into Claude or other? The voice note prompt. Where the fuck did it go? I mean, it's a whole bunch of things. I'm not really sure what you're asking, to be honest. You can see this was a whole long thing, and I was going to share it, but because of the voice note thing, I can't. I get what you're saying. I could just create this again, but I would have to go through, because it has my output in it, and I'd have to go through the whole process again. Pisses me off that I can't share it. But I will. What I will do is share the 6 prompts. And again, I did not create these. I got these from Lauren Tickner, but I will share this in the description of the video. Can you give another example, please? Just get example of what? Like another example piece of content? If so, give me any topic, and I'll do one. And I'll write it. I'll compare it in Chris voice and then into that. And this is the app that we were building to do that, but Lovable took a shit on us. Yeah, just give me any topic. And I'll give it a minute or two. If nobody gives me anything, I'll just make something up of my own. Community building. Wonderful. All right. Let's try a different style. Let's do the authority template. And let's say, write me a LinkedIn post on community building. See, sometimes it still goes into AI shit. But I built a 6-figure. See, that's wrong too. You have to fact check some of these things without paying for ads or that's none of that's true, actually. So try again. Remove the emojis and hashtags. And use the data I gave you to get your facts right. See, now this is much, much more accurate to what I would say. I don't get why I can't. There we go. Yes, Jesus. Now, let's do the same thing with a non-Chris influenced chat. See, this is not bad, but this definitely reads like AI. So, and to be fair, let's give it the same follow-up instruction I gave it last time. I don't see any data. All right, so I don't know about you, but that title screams AI to me, the digital age. So basically, we have conditioned it to talk like me. But also, if you wanted to make a very specific post, you could just put any chat in ChatGPT and make a voice note. So your input, then copy the text generate. So yes and no. In fact, one part of the interview is actually giving it posts that you have created. Let me see if I can find it. That you have created that have worked well. And it uses that as part of its intelligence. I think you'll understand it better once I give you the documents that it created for me. It's in here somewhere. Okay, yeah, right here. And you can tell it was written by somebody that's British because it has analyzed with an S. But see, I actually took like some of my best performing posts and put it in there to inform it, you know, and you can continue to do that. Like last night when I was trying to create LinkedIn posts, what I did was come up here and I took one of my best performing LinkedIn posts and I created a style out of that. So let me show you. I took a post of mine that went not viral, but did well on LinkedIn and put it in here and then saved that as a style. And so now if I wanted to write a LinkedIn post similar to that, LinkedIn post, write me a LinkedIn post about community building. It'll write it in the same like format and stuff. And that's what we're going to get this app to be able to do, is to give you all the data to feed into this. And then eventually we'll make it to where you don't even have to go over to the apps. It'll use like Make or something to send all of that over and create the GPT for you. Yeah, but I'm saying to still use your Claude, Chris Chat, with just voice. I don't know if Claude has voice support or not. I don't think it does. ChatGPT does. Like you can literally talk to it. It just doesn't work that well in my experience. Hello, ChatGPT. Can you write me a LinkedIn post about discipline, please? Stop. I said stop. Okay. Well, I would have written the whole thing there. I don't get, otherwise, I don't really get what you're asking me. But Claude doesn't seem to have voice, if that's what you're asking. Otherwise, I'm sorry, I don't follow. Let's see who we got. We got 3 people left on YouTube and 1 left on Facebook. Any other questions before we wrap up? I mean, yeah, just message me after because I'm just not really getting what you're saying, I don't think. But any other questions before we wrap up? I'm sorry that we didn't get to finish, but where is it? Yeah, Lovable just took a shit on us, unfortunately. So I will finish this later off camera. Not going to finish it tonight because WrestleMania is more important. But yeah. All right, guys. Well, I'm sorry that we didn't get further. If you want to play along with us, just check out Ai Doppelgänger.ai. It'll as I get back to it and publish changes to it, that's where it'll be. I will add that to the description of the video. I'll also put. I wish I could share. Maybe I'll just go through that whole thing again and share the chat that time so you can have it. But I'll share these as well. And enjoy WrestleMania. Thank you. And if you could do me a favor and subscribe to my new channel, 02 app, that would be just peachy. I don't know why I said peachy there, but let me grab that. Where's the link? Yeah, if you could just subscribe, I would love it. If not, that's fine. But we're going to be doing one of these a week, and then I will also turn them into to videos as well. And I'm already up to 38 subscribers. That's fan-fucking-tastic. So I think hopefully you enjoyed this. They'll get better hopefully in the future. The apps won't take a shit on me, and we can actually finish. But anyway, this is just a fun side project. No. Probably no monetization going to be to it, but I'm an entrepreneur, so I may not be able to help myself long term. But all right, ladies and gentlemen, I will be back on my regular channel next week, and we'll be back here late next week as well. If you celebrate the holiday this weekend, have a great holiday. If you don't, have a great weekend. I'll see you again soon. Peace.